What's up, pros? You guys might be like great players with Rummy. You might be really good at Chin Rummy. You might be really good at Rummy 500. But there's this Indian version of Rummy, which is like this perfect balance between Rummy 500 and Chin Rummy. So let's talk about it. So we're back. As we were talking, let's see how actually this Indian Rummy is played, and then you can decide if it's like a perfect balance, like that perfect balance of Rummy, like your favorite Rummies, is it, or it doesn't quite touch the mark for you to decide. So basically, Indian Rummy is a 13 card Rummy. So let's talk about the gameplay first, how everything is started, and then we can understand how exactly do you play this game. Okay, so at the start of every game, every player gets one card. So this version of Rummy can be played between 2 or 6 players, 2 to 6 players. So 2 minimum, 6 maximum. Yeah. When there are 2 players, 1 deck is enough. And when there are more than 2 players, up to 6 players, you need 2 decks of cards to play this game. So initially, every player gets 1 open card, and the person with the biggest card gets to play first. After it's decided who's going to play first, a card from the deck. So everyone gets 13 cards. Everyone is distributed 13 cards clockwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In this way, everyone gets 13 cards, and after that, the deck is kept in the middle. The remaining cards are kept in the middle, and 1 card out of that deck is picked at random and kept it open in front of everyone. And that card is the second joker in the game. So 1 joker is your card, which is like the joker. Yeah. So 1 is this joker, and this card, whatever card at random comes up, that is considered the second joker. So if it's 9 of spades that comes up while randomly picking it from the remaining stash of cards, every 9 becomes the second joker. Cool. So as now we know, there are 2 jokers. One is the normal joker and the second one is the joker which we just created, and that everyone gets 13 cards. Let's get into a game and see what exactly do we do with those 13 cards.
Let's see what do we do with those 13 cards we get. So the basis of the game is you need to make 4 pair out of these 13 cards. So the pair will be of 3, 3 and 4 cards. So 3, 3, 3, 9 and 4 cards equal to 13 cards. So you need these pairs are called set and sequences. So there are 2 types of things which you can make out of these. Either you can make sets or you can make sequences. But to understand what exactly these are, let's use this deck of cards and I'll show you what exactly sets and sequences are. Consider the cards here. Okay, so if I have a ace of hearts, if I have 2 of hearts, and if I have 3 of hearts, so this is called a sequence. Numbers in a line numbers in a sequence like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but the catch is they should be the same. Like they should be, if it's of hearts, so it should be A of hearts, 2 of hearts, and 3 of hearts. So you can either make a sequence of 3 or 4, but all of them should be of the same type. So 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a pure sequence. So sequences are basically of two types. This right here is a pure sequence because all three cards are of the same type and are in a sequence. So you need to have one pure sequence to complete a game. So it can either be a 4 or 3, that doesn't matter, but it should be a pure sequence. Next, let's talk about impure sequence. What makes a sequence impure? It's this card right here, the Joker. Any sequence is an impure sequence when you use a Joker in that sequence. So for example, if I didn't have the 2 of hearts, and I would make a sequence like this would be considered an impure sequence. So even in impure sequences, you can either have a sequence of 3 cards or 4 cards. Alright, so this is an impure sequence. So you have 13 cards, out of which you need to make 2 sequences minimum. Alright, one is your pure sequence and one is your impure sequence. So one sequence with the Joker and one sequence without the Joker. Next, we need sets. What basically is a set? A set is a group of 3 or 4 cards which are of the same number but are different. So for example, Joker, if I have a Jack of Diamonds, a Jack of Hearts, and a Jack of Spades, so all 3 of them are Jacks but are of a different type. So this is called a set. So any card, so it could be a K, Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, that doesn't make a difference, but it should be of the same. The card should be the same and it should be of different type. So here we have a Jack of Diamonds, a Jack of Hearts, and a Jack of Spades. So this right here is a set. Again, even a set can be of 3 or 4 cards, but they shouldn't be repeated. So if I would add another Jack of Spades here, so this cannot be called a 4 card set. Every card should be unique, so you cannot repeat the card. So yeah, it's a 3 card set, so I cannot use this 4th card here. So until now what we have learned is you need one pure sequence, which is your this 2, 3, 4. This would be considered your pure sequence. You need one pure sequence, you need one impure sequence, and you need one set, right? Alright, so you need one more pair to complete the game, which is you can do anything out of the 3. It's that easy. You can either make an impure sequence, you can make a pure sequence, or you can make a set. Any out of these you can do for your 4th set of cards. So let's see how how you can like complete the game with the 13 cards. So here you can see these are my three basic sets. These are my three set of cards. So here I have the set of jacks, all three are of a different type, one set approved. Then I have a pure sequence of ace, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, all of hearts. So this is check. Now we have an impure sequence of 4, 5. We don't have the 6. Let's assume. So we put in the joker. So this makes an impure sequence. Now I've used 9 cards. Alright. So I need to have 4 more cards. So for example, if I have say 8, 9, 10, 11, even this will work. If I didn't have, for example, a 10 and I put in a joker, like a different joker, I cannot like remove it out of this and then use it. So if I have a different joker, even this would work. Or if I made a set of either 8, 8, 8, or if I made a set of 9, 9, 9, even that would do. So you can have it anyway. You need to just have another set, so that you need to just have another set of cards. So it could be a set or it could be a sequence. That won't be a problem, and it can be either a pure one or an impure one. That would do. So here we just have one joker. That's why I put in here a pure sequence. When you play the game, you have a second joker as well, so it becomes pretty easy to make impure sets. So let's just dive into one of the games and I'll explain better how exactly the game is played. So this was like the theory part of the game, you can say. And now let's get into one game and see what exactly we need to do.
So let's get into one of these games and exactly see how you're gonna do it. Cool? Yeah. So normally you will see something like a table like this, which consists of maximum 6 players. Let's see how many people join in so we can start the game. So now 10 was the highest card, so he gets to start. So you see the joker, Q was the joker as Q was the random card pulled out. So now we have a pure sequence and nothing else. Let's see how we go about it. So as you can see, I have an option to either pick the king of clubs or I have option to pick up a random card. I didn't pick up the king of clubs because I already had one, and if I wanted to make a set out of it, I would require a different card of king, like a king of spades or a king of diamonds. So it didn't make sense picking up the king of clubs here, so I decided to pick up the random card here and then see how it works out. So I got a joker, which was very beneficial, so that at least I could complete my impure sequence here of 4, 5 and 6, right? And then I had to drop a card. Here I made a mistake of dropping the king of spades. I could have dropped a 4 of hearts here, or if I wanted to drop a club card anyway, I should have dropped the 4 of clubs here. But again, you make mistakes and then you learn. So as you can see, the guy, 2 people dropped out, so it was like an easy chance for me to like play it further and win. But as he picked up the king of clubs, my card which I threw, and then he threw it again. That was weird, but yeah. So I just had to pick up the random card here because I was the one who dropped the earlier one. So if I hadn't dropped the king of clubs here, I would have completed my set here, further getting my chances to win even more. So the mistake I made in the last round where I dropped the king of clubs instead of the four of clubs, I dropped the four of clubs in this round and thought, well, let's see what happens. And even if I would have not dropped the king of clubs last round, it was pretty tough to win because I needed to complete one more, either a set or a sequence. And as you can see, if I had option of picking up either the jack of spades, and it wouldn't have matched here because I just had a 3 and 8 of spades and I didn't have any other jack, so there was no chance of making a set and there wasn't a chance of making a sequence from that jack. So I picked up the new card here, and that turned out to be a 2 of hearts, which actually was helping me get my sequence bigger here, and I could like drop another, then I could think about completing the other sequence or a set of a 3 card because I have one 4 card sequence ready here. So I decided to drop the king, and because that is the highest card that has like more points. If I lose, I'll lose more money, because at this point of time I was pretty certain that the person is very close to completing the game, so it was on me to like discard the bigger card so that my points go low and I don't lose a lot of money here. As you can see, the guy just had one card to go and he picked up the card and he completed his game and we lost. Now man, let's move on to the second game and see.
Hold on. So this is officially our first video, so please just like and subscribe because there's a lot of things coming up. This is very basic. We're gonna talk into a lot about the gaming industry in India and how everything is rolling out for the games. Like our beloved games are getting shut. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about different games. Let's talk about how you get big. And let's just talk. That's the main thing. I have a lot of guests planned out for this. I have a lot of people, pros at the game. I have a lot of people who are spreading it internationally. So I know a lot of people and I need a few subscribers to get this speed. So yeah. Just let this community grow. Let's talk about games. Just comment on anything on my social media and we can get talking. Let's build this community together, guys. So just like and subscribe. And then now continue. We need to watch the video. Yeah.
So here I was pretty lucky, you can say, because I already had a pure sequence in place and I had a set in place, and all I had to make one impure sequence and either a set or a sequence. So I had 2 things set. I just needed 2. So here you can see I got a 9 of diamonds, or if I had to choose from a 9 of diamonds and a random card. I already had a 9 of diamonds and I either had an option to pick up the 9 of diamonds, and as I had the jack of diamonds, I would have wanted either a 10 of diamonds to complete that sequence and then wait for a joker to complete that impure sequence. So it was a bit risky, so I decided picking up the new card and I got a ace of spades. And now I would either read a 2 or a joker to complete that. You can see I dropped the 10 of hearts because I didn't have anything. I had a sequence ready of 5, 6, 7 of hearts, and I would need 8, and 9 was already used in the set, so it didn't make sense. That was a bigger risk making something out of hearts, so I decided to drop that. Now I had an option to either pick up a 2 of spades or a random card. As you can see, I had an ace of spades, I had 3 of spades, so it would make complete sense to pick up 2 of spades, because then I have a pure sequence ready, and if I get a joker, I can 4 card impure sequence, which would make 3/4, would complete 3/4 of my game here. As you can see, I picked that up and I completed two pure sets, two pure sequences, sorry, and 1 set. Now I had to discard 1 card, and I chose to discard this 10 of spades. I also had an option to discard the J of diamonds, but yeah, I discarded the 10 of spades. Now, as you can see, there was an option to pick up the 7 of diamonds, or a random card. Picking him 7 of diamonds quite didn't make sense here, because when I go to see about completing a sequence, I had ace of diamonds and 4 of diamonds, and it would be very tough to complete it with a 7, or I would have had to break my 9 of diamonds set to make a sequence. So it was like a very risky move. It would decrease my chances of winning, so I planned up picking up the random card here, and the random card gave me a joker, which made my pure sequence into a 4 impure sequence. So I had 2 pure sequences, so now I have 1 4 card impure sequence, 1 pure sequence, and a set. So I just need one more 3 card sequence or a set to complete the game. Now many of you guys might be thinking, as I have a king of spades to pick, and if I picked up that king of spades, that would make K A 2 3, but this would make my second pure sequence become my 3 card pure sequence become a 4 card sequence, and then you cannot have 2 4 card sequences to have to complete 13 cards. You need just 1 4 card sequence. So I decided that wouldn't make sense, so I chose to pick up the random card. I could have also picked that K and then made a K 1 2 3 and then a 5 6 7 and used the joker somewhere else, but yeah, I chose to pick that up, and luckily picking that actually worked for me. Picking the random card worked for me. I got a joker there and I completed. So either ways, if I would have picked that up, it would have completed the game as well, and me getting a second joker also kind of did the same thing here. So you can see I have option, I finished the game. So now I have a pure sequence of A 2 3 in spades. I have another pure sequence of 5 6 and 7. I have an impure sequence of J joker joker A, so that is J Q K A, and a set of 9.
I hope you like this game. I know it's fun and pretty easy to play. Probably even this was one of my early games when I started playing cards. Yeah, I hope you like this game as well. It's pretty easy and just requires a lot of skill as well, I think. At least I think. Yeah, and everyone likes poker, so guys, Rummy is not a bad game. cooking is fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's pretty interesting. Indian Rummy feels like home, like, so I play it because of that. Yeah. So, if you like this video, you know the rest. Like, subscribe, and share this video, and just build this community, guys. Let's get together and build this community of card games, and let us show we are not small, because there exists no community at this point of time. Everything is so distorted. So help me in this initiative of mine. Thank you, guys.